Adams at Large. Global's Claude Adams, just back from Iraq.
This is Baghdad's monument to bad taste. Crossed swords over a mountain of helmets belonging to dead Iranian soldiers. It's also a glimpse into the mind of Saddam Hussein, a megalomaniac who's the star of his own art gallery in Baghdad. But after 2 disastrous wars, most Iraqis now realize that Saddam Hussein is a failed warrior. Unhappily, they have to pretend otherwise, as I found out when I visited this girls' school. The school has been ravaged by the embargo. It lacks everything: pencils, chalk, heating. But every girl has a reading book with Saddam's face in it. And the teacher does her bit, promoting Saddam as the absolute leader. Propaganda is Iraq's growth industry. At the government hotel, visitors have to walk over the face of George Bush to get into the lobby. In the garden, you find out why: the remains of a cruise missile that struck the hotel in 1991. The government dictates what my camera will see. In Basra, my guide took me on a tour of the war zone. I met a man who told me in flawless English about how American bombs killed his family.
I wish someone would help me to go to the United States and put a complaint to the American justice. It's a civilian area. It's not a military area. It's not an economic facility.
In a Baghdad hospital, a doctor showed me children with leukemia, caused, he said, by radiation from American weapons. The UN says it has no evidence to support the claim, but here, everybody believes it. The hospital is named after, who else? Saddam Hussein. Then there's Gaida. Her family, she says, was wiped out in January 1991 when 2 giant bombs struck this civilian shelter in Baghdad. The shelter was on my guided tour. The Americans say it concealed a military communication center, but Gaida has a different story. Vivid accounts of human tragedy. A mother huddling a child was fused against this wall by the blast, she says. She tells the same story, word for word, to every Western visitor. One of my stops in Baghdad was this building, home of the Iraqi Human Rights Society. I came to ask about 600 Kuwaiti civilians believed taken prisoner by the Iraqis during the invasion of 1990. But the man in charge, Dr. Riyad Aziz, could only parrot the official government line: there are no prisoners. In precise French, he says POW stories are nothing but American propaganda. But he thanks me for my trouble. That's the reality of Iraq, where people disappear into the jaws of a totalitarian regime, and the truth is whatever Saddam Hussein wants it to be. For Global News, I'm Claude Adams in Baghdad.